Welcome to Goalside, football fans. Robin van Persie is a living legend of Dutch football, as he is considered perhaps the best Holland striker in the 21st century. And now that his career has ended, many pose the question, how good Van Persie really was. It's a complex question asking for a complex answer in return. However, we'll try to depict his career in phases in order to display the best and the worst from Van Persie's playing days. So strap yourself in because you're about to hear all about the great career of the one and only Robin van Persie. Robin van Persie was born in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Unfortunately for young Robin, his parents divorced while he was a little kid. Many claim that this left a mark on him, creating a somewhat arrogant attitude later on in his playing career. The youngster had all sorts of issues at school. He was expelled from classes on a daily basis, getting into trouble with teachers and his classmates alike. This was first shown when Van Persie played for his youth team back in Excelsior. At 16 years of age, he had a fallout with his coaches, leading him to be expelled from the team. Van Persie was so good that Feyenoord accepted him right away. He didn't wait a long time. The talented striker made his debut with the senior team after just a year at Feyenoord. When he was 17, he made 15 appearances in the 2001 and 2 season, including featured in the starting lineup in the UEFA Cup final. Feyenoord won the competition, and a bright career was ahead for Robin as he was named KNVB Best Talent Award. He signed a professional contract with Feyenoord in 2002, which established his status in the first team. And then, his attitude issues struck again. He was demoted to the reserve squad in Feyenoord at the start of the 2003 season. The fallout with the manager, Van Marwijk, lasted towards the end of the 2002 and 3 season as Robin van Persie was displaced from the team before the Super Cup against Real Madrid, causing a huge opportunity missed for the young player. What he did do was score 8 goals in his first full season with the senior squad, showing his talent despite the constant fallouts with the manager and the attitude issues. The following season didn't show much progress. The manager at Feyenoord was the same, which meant that Van Persie didn't see a lot on the pitch, causing the club to try and look for suitors for the young striker. And then, Arsene Wenger came knocking. It was May of 2004. Arsenal were just finishing an invincible campaign where they won the Premier League without a single defeat. However, as Wenger was the perfectionist that he is, the Frenchman always looked for ways to improve the team, and he pinpointed Robin van Persie as the one. The player didn't mind either. Van Persie was a lifelong Arsenal fan, inherited by his father's love for the North London club. He was often seen wearing full Arsenal gear and a dream to play at the Highbury one day. Arsenal signed Van Persie for a reported fee of around $4 million, and Wenger had a plan in place for the forward. While Van Persie mostly played as a winger in the past, the manager had the idea of turning him into a traditional center forward, similarly to what he did with Thierry Henry, who became Arsenal's best scorer of all time after that change. The duo were a match made in heaven. Years later, the player spoke about Wenger as a father, saying, "When I first met Arsene, he said, 'I will give you all the opportunity here.'" Arsene came across as a father and as a very intelligent man. At most Premier League clubs, there is no time. Managers want players who are ready. He had this plan for the next so many seasons, and the most special thing was that he made it all happen. He always had patience and trust in his players, and he certainly did with me. He made me learn from my mistakes. He would talk to me for hours, and step by step he helped me improve. When I say that he is my football father, I'm not exaggerating. He has formed me as a man and as a player. The Dutch striker played his first match for Arsenal in August of 2004. It wasn't just any match either. Arsenal were playing for the trophy as they faced Manchester United in the FA Community Shield, and Arsene Wenger subbed on Van Persie. The Gunners would go on to win the match, thus making Van Persie's debut the one where he also won his debut title with Arsenal. Obviously, the young striker was on the bench more often than not, but that didn't stop him from scoring his debut goal for Arsenal against Manchester City in the League Cup in 2004. Soon after, his attitude issues came to light once again. He went at Graham Lessa, bursting towards him in January of 2005 and earning himself a red card. Wenger screamed at his striker from the sidelines for the action that left his team with 10 men, but it was too late. As a punishment, the French manager benched Van Persie on the following period, only for the Dutch to score a brace in the FA Cup semi-final where he got an opportunity to play against Blackburn Rovers. The next season, however, started very promising for Van Persie. He scored 8 goals in the same amount of appearances in November, thus winning the Premier League Player of the Month award. They did not want to lose the 23-year-old striker at any cost. But then, an injury derailed the rest of the season for the Dutchman, leaving his best performances on hold for the future. The 2006 and 7 season was practically more of the same. Once again, the Dutchman started off the season on fire, scoring at will before injuries messed up the season once again, causing him to finish with just 11 goals in all competitions to his name. This was a transitional period between Arsenal's golden generation and the upcoming one. Van Persie was supposed to be the leader on the pitch, but the injuries stopped this progress, and first signs of worry started to creep in about the player's long-term fitness issues. Finally, Van Persie was definitely put in the spotlight when Thierry Henry departed from Arsenal to join Barcelona in 2007. it was his time to shine, and the Dutchman loved the attention. And once again, injuries arrived, causing Van Persie to play just 15 Premier League matches in the 2007 and 8 season. Far too little to lead the team to great things everyone was expecting of him. And then the breakthrough happened. Van Persie took charge in the 2008 and 9 season, noting 11 goals along with the same number of assists in the Premier League. The Dutch striker scored 20 goals in all competitions, being Arsenal's top scorer that season, as he was voted the player of the season by the club. The player signed a new contract where he famously said, "My heart is with Arsenal, and I just can't picture myself in a different shirt." That proved to be very wrong, but we'll get to that later. As for the performances on the pitch in 2009 and 10 brought a similar scenario. He had an excellent first half of the season, winning Player of the Month award among many other things, only to pick up a 5-month-long injury in the second part of the season. The following season was one of the best for the striker in his Arsenal days. He scored a stunner against Barcelona in round 16. However, controversially enough, he was sent off in an away leg after receiving a second yellow card for supposed time wasting when he shot the ball, even after the referee called the offside. Van Persie later claimed that Camp Nou noise of more than 90,000 meant that he couldn't hear the whistle, but it was no good. Barcelona went through to the quarterfinals and would later go on to win the whole competition. Arsenal's main striker, however, ended the Premier League season with 18 goals to his name, even though injuries did their usual part as he missed almost half of the season, playing just 25 league matches. What followed was a dream season for Robin Van Persie. The striker scored 30 goals in the 2011 and 12 season as he captained the team after Cesc Fabregas' departure to Barcelona. It was such an impressive feat that he almost single-handedly led Arsenal to the league title. But the team couldn't follow his rhythm. This was the player's first season at Arsenal where he was fully fit, playing all Premier League matches, and he showed all of his footballing skills and knowledge. One of the most impressive performances came against Chelsea, where he scored a hat-trick in Arsenal's 5-3 win over their London rivals. At the end of the season, Van Persie became the club's 8th all-time top scorer with 128 goals to his name. But the shock ensued afterwards. He publicly announced that he won't extend his Arsenal contract, meaning that he's looking for a move in the summer. And he got his move. Manchester United bought him in 2012, paying a fee of around $27 million. It was Sir Alex Ferguson's last season as the Red Devils manager, and he wanted to make a statement by signing Arsenal's best player. In return, Van Persie chose number 20, as it represented the 20th Premier League title United is about to win, with him as the focal point. It was a spectacular season, both for the club and the player alike. Robin Van Persie led Manchester United to their 20th Premier League title while scoring some crucial goals, such as the winning goal in Manchester Derby, as well as shooting one of the most beautiful volleys you'll see when he smashed one in after equally beautiful assist by Wayne Rooney against Queen's Park Rangers. Fans voted him the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year, and he was also nominated for Best Player in Europe award, making the top 10. He spent 2 more seasons at Old Trafford, riddled with injuries that occurred more commonly than not. However, one of his best moments arrived in the 2014 World Cup, where the Netherlands dethroned Spain, who won 3 major international competitions prior. The Dutch beat Spain 5-2, with Van Persie earning himself the Flying Dutchman nickname after scoring a flying header, chipping the ball over Iker Casillas. The Netherlands dropped out of the competition to Argentina in the semis later on, but Van Persie became the first player since 1966 to score with his head, left foot, right foot, from a penalty, and a free kick, all in a single World Cup. Van Persie left Manchester United in 2015 on good terms, having brought them the 2012-13 league title. He then moved to Fenerbahce, where he was the fan favorite, as he scored 36 goals in 2 full seasons at the club. At the dawn of his career, Van Persie moved back to where it all started, in Feyenoord. But he didn't come back to pick up his retirement check. Van Persie actually played a big role in his team winning the cup in the 2017-18 season, as he scored both in the semifinal and the final of the competition. Robert Van Persie retired from football in 2019. For all his attitude issues on and off the pitch, Robin Van Persie was a brilliant striker. In fact, many would argue that he was the most talented pure number 9 of our generation. Unfortunately, injuries heavily derailed his career, and again, the fact that he managed to score more than 300 career goals despite constant injury speaks volumes about this legend. One could also argue that Van Persie was held back by an incompetent team at Arsenal and only managed to display his full array of talent while playing for Man United later on in his career. He scored with both of his feet, and volleys were his specialty. He had such a lovely technique for a tall player, enabling him to fulfill all kinds of roles for the team. His diversity was unmatched, and a long time will pass before we see another player like him. Whatever the case may be, Robin Van Persie is the best Netherlands national team scorer of all time, and certainly one of the most talented players of his generation.